Today I'm gonna show you how to start seeds indoors. We're gonna start from a small pepper seed to a nice pepper plant. So let's start. I like to start with a shallow container like this, so a couple inches. Big thing you need to remember about your container, doesn't have to be anything particular, but what it needs to be, it needs to have holes. So what I do, I just poke drainage holes with this, and that way the excess water can escape from your plants. Plants don't like to stand in water because their roots need oxygen and they will drown if they don't have to. So I already filled up this container with dirt, and to choose dirt, it's up to you. I like to use compost, and the better the soil, the better for the plants. So try to pay attention and not use like maybe garden soil if your garden soil is clay or something worse that your plants are not going to be happy about it. So maybe invest more into this or find a compost or use your own compost for this. So here we have it, we have the holes, right? That's very important. And what you need to do also, you need to put this, since you have holes in there and excess water is going to drain from this container, you need to catch the excess water. So have something like that. And let's start. When you put the soil in, please don't compact it too much because the roots need oxygen and they also need space. So you don't want the soil to be compacted, but you want to push it in a little bit. So let's start with these pepper seeds. So we have pepper seeds in here, hot peppers. And so what we're gonna do is just gonna broadcast the seeds. Some people like to soak their seeds, but I don't like to do that because then it's very difficult to work with wet seeds. And sometimes if they sprout, you can damage the roots and kill the seeds. So I try to start with dry seeds. So here we go. We want to broadcast them pretty close to each other. You can see, right, where I'm putting the seeds. They're yellow on a black background. And you see the seeds are very small. So when you cover the seeds, sometimes I don't follow the instructions on the seed packs because sometimes they tell you to put them very deep. I don't like that. So the seeds are very small and they don't have a lot of energy stored, so you don't want to cover them too much because they're not going to be able to come out of the soil very well. So with these small seeds like this, I'm just going to broadcast a little bit of soil, and also I want to show you about the soil, so just a little bit like this. Just cover them up. And see, I'm not pushing too hard, I'm just spreading the soil. And one big mistake people do at this point, they will water the plants with normal watering can. And that's a big problem because the seeds are not attached, they will wash away into one corner or just wash up. So what you want to do is you want to purchase or have like a very inexpensive spray bottle. And you just spray the soil wet. Also, I like to start with the wet soil, so let me show you the difference between dry and wet soil. So we have the same soil here in both of these containers. This is the same kind of soil, only this soil is dry and you see how it's all like this. And normally, when you get it in a store, it's gonna come like this. So what you want to do, you want to put it in a larger container and water it basically, so your soil is more like this. The same soil, do you see a very big difference? Very big difference. So you want to start with soil more like this than like this, because then this soil is very difficult to water at first. So here we have it. We're just going to spray it until it's pretty wet. And what we're going to do is cover it up with something. I like to save the used shower caps, and so it's very easy and very nice to just put it into your container. And doesn't matter saran wrap or anything you use, and at this point your seeds need warmth. So find the warmest spot in your house and put them in like this. I would check it every day, but some seeds take up to a week or maybe even 20 days to germinate. Sometimes you can find that information on seed packs, but I would check it every day. I'm just really curious about my seeds, so I check it every day. So once you have little seeds sprouting, you need to remove the cap because then it's going to become too wet in there. And at this point when they sprouted, unfortunately I don't have that stage to show you, but once they sprouted, you need to put them in the warmest and also the light, a lot of light. They need a lot of light at this point because now they're gonna start photosynthesizing because they used up all their energy from the seed and now they need the sun. So that when they germinate, you remove the cap or remove your cover and then you just put it in the very sunny spot in your house. So, and then you just keep your soil looking like this, right? And if it dries up, just water it more. And again, at the point where they actually germinated and already growing, you can probably use a watering can to water them. So these peppers are probably 4 weeks old. And what we see is that we have the cotyledons or seed leaves, and we also have true leaves. And so you want to transplant these at this stage. So they have true leaves, and this is a very good time to transplant them. We start with a newspaper pot, and I showed in a different video how to make these. And I'm gonna fill it up with dirt. It's a little bit messy, so make sure you do it somewhere that you don't care that it's gonna be messy. I don't see how I don't compact the soil at all. I just sort of help it come in. So I fill it up. And so what I do, I just use my finger and make a nice deep hole in there. Use a very important tool in the garden, a fork, because it's useful then to eat your grown peppers too. So what I do, I just gently use the fork to remove the plant, and it's gonna remove some of the roots. We can see some of the roots, and I'm gonna gently put them in the hole I just made. You don't want to push too hard, but you want the plant to get into the hole very nicely. And I basically gonna put it in up to cotyledons. So what's gonna happen is all that stem that we buried is gonna develop roots. And so that's why I like this method too, because then you're gonna have extra roots to start with. And so here you go. At this point, here they are, my 2 little peppers. And at this point, I can water them with the normal watering can. Again, very gently, because they're tender plants. They're not very big. They're not very established. They need your love. So here you go. And I will have them like this for probably another 3 to 4 weeks. And then they're gonna become big grown peppers. And what I do, I just take this entire pot, and it's of course not gonna look as pretty after being used for a couple weeks, excuse me. And so you just put it like that in the soil, and your plants don't have transplant shock, and the biodegradable pot will biodegrade very quickly, and you have a very inexpensive way to start your seeds. A lot of fun, keeps me going through the winter because I can take care of these plants, and they are very healthy, much healthier than bought plants, because look how much more soil and how much more roots they have compared to the plants that you buy in a store, and also just so much less expensive. And here you go, very easy, and enjoy planting.